Ukraine war, Russian strikes on Odessa damage Orthodox cathedral. At least one person has been killed and 19 injured in Russian missile strikes on the Ukrainian port city of Odessa, officials have said. The Transfiguration Cathedral in the UNESCO World Heritage listed historic center was also badly damaged. Russia claimed its Odessa targets were being used to prepare terrorist acts and blamed Sunday's cathedral attack on Ukrainian air defense. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed retaliation. And there will definitely be retaliation to Russian terrorists for Odessa, he warned. Moscow has been launching near-constant attacks on Odessa since it withdrew from a landmark grain deal on Monday. Regional Governor Ole Kuiper said 14 people, including 4 children, were taken to hospital on Sunday after the blasts, that also destroyed 6 residential buildings. Odessa, another night attack of the monsters, Mr. Kuiper wrote on Telegram. Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs accused Russia of destroying the cathedral, which belongs to the Moscow-linked Ukrainian Orthodox Church. A war crime that will never be forgotten and forgiven. #Russia's a terrorist state, it tweeted. The bombing is part of Russia systematically destroying the Orthodox Church in Ukraine and its premises, Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said. The damage is as colossal as the cathedral itself. The cracks along its walls represent the strain Odessa has found itself under after a week of constant attacks from the skies. There is no doubt this was a direct hit from a missile. Most of the roof is missing. The building's thick ancient walls are still standing, but there are pillars leaning at a worrying angle. Teams have been ferociously picking up debris since the impact in the small hours of this morning. They show us fragments of what they say was the Russian missile, which destroyed a place of worship under Moscow's control. A cruel irony which is likely to be unintended. The building is Odessa's largest Orthodox church and was consecrated in 1809. It was demolished by the Soviet Union in 1939, before being rebuilt in 2003. In a video posted to social media by the city council, Mayor Gennady Trukhanov could be seen walking through rubble inside the church. Andrei Palkuk, the archdeacon of the cathedral, said he was the first person to arrive at the scene. The destruction is enormous. Half of the cathedral was left without a roof, and the central piles and foundation were destroyed, he said. All the windows and stucco molding were blown out. There was a fragmentary fire. The part where icons and candles are sold in the church caught fire. It was all on fire, burning. The UN's cultural agency, UNESCO, has repeatedly urged Russia to cease attacks on Odessa. The city's historic center was designated an endangered World Heritage by the organization earlier this year, despite Russian opposition. What was the Ukraine grain deal? But in an update posted to Facebook, Ukraine's Southern Command said Russia had targeted the Odessa region with at least 5 different types of missiles. The head of Ukraine's presidential office, Andriy Yermak, repeated calls for more missiles and defense systems after the latest attack on Odessa. "This is the undisguised terror of a peaceful city," Mr. Yermak wrote on Telegram. "The enemy must be deprived of the opportunity to attack civilians and infrastructure." Moscow has notably stepped up attacks on the port city since it withdrew from the UN-backed grain deal on Monday, and Ukraine has accused it of targeting grain supplies vital to the deal. A strike earlier this week destroyed some 60,000 tons of grain, officials said. Odessa is Ukraine's biggest port, and millions of tons of grain have been shipped from its docks under the terms of the deal. The deal, brokered by Turkey and the UN, between Russia and Ukraine was struck in July 2022, allowing cargo ships to sail along a corridor in the Black Sea.